Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay, Fairy Tail chapter came out. Um, so yeah, Bonkai922 here. Fairy Tail chapter came out 292. Now, we all saw what happened last week, Um, this one was very intriguing towards the end. Got a shocker. Shocker concerned with the Eclipse plan. Yeah, that was something that I was like, okay, so that's what's going on here. Now, I don't want to bring in another reviewers what they said, but I think it was Neverworld. I think he was referring to the end, as in the end of the world in the show, not the end of Fairy Tail the manga. But here's what I think. The end of this chapter made me think about something. What if Hiro is trying to set us up for some like ultimate climactic battle or war or something? But anyway, let's move on. Moving right along. It's chapter 292. This one was Our Hearts Are Connected or something along those lines. And we take a look at the list. And what I noticed is what Fairy Tail is listed as. It's listed as Saber Fairy Tail, because the whole thing with Saber, yeah, kind of. So anyway, what it's saying is that Fairy Tail B has 36 points, and Fairy Tail A has 35 points, and Fairy Tail A is tied with Lamia's Scale and Mermaid Heel. And obviously Sabretooth's got 44 points, those sons of bitches. But anyway, moving right along. Obviously, it says Lucy. Oh yeah, Our Hearts Combined. That's the name of this chapter. Our Hearts Combined. And it says Lucy's been caught between the heartless tiger's poisonous fangs. These ripples give birth to a new fate. And obviously, Lucy falls, Natsu and Gray catch her, so on and so forth. And Natsu says, "What have you done, you bitch?" Yeah, it's going to be coming to that kind of thing. And we get a scene with Urza. Oh my god. Urza? Let me tell you something. I don't care what anyone said. Okay. I know Fairy Tail has its problems. I know it has its problems. I know. It's got problems up the wazoo. But give me Urza any day of the week looking like that, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm sorry, I'm sold. Because she makes the most fearsome looks I've ever seen in any show. It's like, holy shit, you started something now. You know? It's just the look she gives. It's just, oh my god, it makes me quiver, I should say. So then, obviously, she said, "What have you done, you bitch? We must take her to a medical facility." Oh, and then Shelly is there, and she's saying, "Let's help out." And we see Arcardius. Arcardius is obviously where celestial, mage. Whatever. Moving right along. Hang on, Lucy. They're saying, "Hang on, Lucy." And his Minerva's there, and apparently, she did get points, Lucy. So she didn't lose any points. Apparently, what Minerva says is, "What's with that look? I simply took advantage of the rules," she says. "Rather, you should be grateful to me for letting her keep second place. I guess she did not understand. She's useless trash." Natsu gives her a look like, "You better step off before I rip your fucking head off." So, this is like, forget about it. This is going to be and here's Sting and Orga. Listen, Sting. You're a loser, okay? Loser. You haven't done anything. Once again, I bring out my hatred for this character because he hasn't done anything. Moving right along. Little mini rant of Sting. Moving right along, we see, obviously, Rufus, Orga, and everything. And then... Urza stops them. She stops Natsu and Gray for jumping in and trying to start shit. And then she just makes this one speech. And we get an interesting scene with the cats. and everything. And obviously tensions are high now. And then this is probably this scene, this one liner by Urza and the picture of Urza. Oh man, I'm putting it on my wallpaper on YouTube. I'm sorry, but it has to go up. Because the way she looked in this scene, So, and the doctor's saying, oh, it's a supposed moment. And she says, this is what Urza says. I don't care if you're the strongest or number one in Fury. I will say only one thing. You have made enemies of the worst guild to anger. I'll tell you right now, Urza, I'm thinking, looking at her, she's going to pull out a sword and stick it in Minerva's neck. After saying that, it looked like to me like she was going to do that. Like she was going to stick her sword in Minerva's neck after saying that comment. So, moving right along, we get the next scene, and we see Sting smiling like a stupid fuck. Again, you're smiling up. Let me tell you, man, if you fight Natsu, you'll get what's coming to you. I want to fight Natsu. He reminds me too much. You know what he reminds me too much of? I don't want to say it. I don't want to compare him to like Sasuke, but he's like obsessive about fighting Natsu. Like, what the fuck's your problem, man? Jump off the fucking bandwagon. You haven't done anything. You didn't fight yet. How can you say, oh, I'm laughing like an idiot. I'm sorry, I just don't like Sting. But anyway, also we see Kagura. She's obviously interested in Urza. And we see Lucy, and everyone is pissed off. We get Mira Jane showing up, and Juvia, and Kana, Loxus, and Gagio. And they're saying, is she okay? And it looks like, we're in different teams. We're in the same guild, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying that her life isn't at risk because of Wendy, blah, blah, blah. Thanks to Shelly as emergency aid. So, and then, interesting scene with Natsu and Loxus. Natsu's like, those bastards. And Loxus replies, I know what you want to say. And Lucy's saying, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I've lost again. And then it doesn't really matter because the truth of the matter is she did get 8 points. I mean, it wasn't like a total waste. I mean, if they beat these fuckers in day 4 of the tournament, hey, they don't get any points for fucking Sabretooth. That's the way I look at it. They don't get any points. And they'll be in first place, Fairy Tail. But moving right along, I got points, my keys, and then get her keys, and so on and so forth. Gagio says, I don't like this, so obviously everyone has the same kind of pressing mood. Here comes Makarov, and he says to them, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. So, we don't know what it is. He says, perfect timing, both Team A and B are here. The game administration has ordered us to combine our teams. And they are saying this because of the disqualification of Raventail. Because Raventail was disqualified, they decided that odd number of teams in the matches and battles. So we must reorganize a new team with 5 members. So that's the whole bit. And he's saying that with the least amount. And here's the thing about that. They're saying it's cruel. It's not really. Team B only had, 36? And you got to look at it this way. If they manage to get 10 points in the battle portion, they're going to get what? Let's see. They got 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. They'll be 1 point ahead of Sabretooth. Well, actually, what will happen is if they beat Sabretooth and the other teams that are tied with them win as well, they'll be in a tie as well. So, the teams are tied with. Anyway, we're right along. That's what the administrators decided. And kind of saying also it'll be much stronger, blah, 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 so on and so forth. All 5 members, you better choose carefully. And then Natsu saying, I'm definitely going to get revenge for Lucy. I won't forgive them for laughing at our friends. Um, and we move on from that part. This thing loads. This fucking piece of shit. We move on to that part. We see the listings and, tag team battle. They reorganize, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It's going to be 2 versus 2. So, Blue Pegasus is going to fight Quattro Puppy. Mermaid Heel is going to fight Lamia Scale, and Sabretooth is going to fight Fairy Tail. So, that's the whole bit. This is going to get fucking nasty. Nasty. That's the way I look at it. So we're moving right along. They're about to come out, and then Lucy's like, "Good luck, everyone. You're in bed." And then Mary Jane says, "This is the real meaning of strongest team," and we got a kind of an idea who's in this team: Natsu, Gray, Urza, Gajeel, and Loxus. So, the question remains, who's going to fight in this round on this day? So, moving right along, everyone say quite an incredible team. And then we see a scene with Mavis. Our guild's heart combined. We're entrusting our feelings to you. It's time to show them all, Mavis is saying, the strength of our bonds. And as we present to you, Team Fairy Tail. And we see, here's the funny thing about Gajeel. He's got a bandana on like Orga. I thought that was very interesting. Remember when Orga first started fighting in the tournament? When he had his first battle in this tournament? He had that bandana on, supposedly. Copycatting. So, they come out and it's like, come on, the story. And then we get a standoff. And then people, what happens is it was a complete turnaround with the fans, with people in the audience. Day 1, they were booing them. Now it's day 4, they're cheering for Fairy Tail. So, and then obviously you see fucking, Sting! Enough! Enough with the smirking. Have a face like Rogue. Like, normal? He's smiling. What are you smiling about? You haven't fought yet. I'm sorry. To everyone who's watching this video and they keep upset and I'm complaining about Sting, we haven't seen him done anything. He hasn't fought yet, and he's smiling like an idiot and laughing like an idiot. I'm sorry, I just can't. It's just so stupid. And we see Kyle, Grim, Lana. Oh, God. Esther and Urza like, hey, you better watch out for us. So they're coming out, and obviously everyone's looking on. Then we get Arcardius. Cardius. Okay, the ending. Very important. Cardius is talking to, I don't think this is the King of Fiore. He's one of his advisors or one of the guys who's close to the king. He's saying the Celestial Wizard is not here. It seems that she's in a medical facility. Are you going to mess up like last time? He says to Arcardius. He says, oh no, last time certainly was a blunder. However, this time I will absolutely succeed. Let's enjoy the festival for now, shall we? I will put our plan into action 3 days from now. And the guy's looking down. He's thinking, eclipse. The world will be reformed. The other guy is saying there's no longer any way to stop this. Lord Zareth, Arcardius is saying, has been waiting quite some time, hasn't he? And then we get the standoff. Gajeel, Natsu are staring at Rogue and Sting. Now, Rogue has been very, I want to say, faceless in this arc. He hasn't really said anything or done anything to ingrate my wrath anyway. I think he's a very interesting character. I want to see where this goes. I'm really interested in seeing. I'm going to say Natsu and Gajeel are going to fight these two. I don't think it's going to be like a mixture of Gray or Minerva. And we get like a standoff between them. And it's like, it would be interesting to see Urza going up against Minerva, but I don't think that's going to go down. And we just get a standoff of that. And then moving right along, we see Loxus and Orga. Loxus and Orga are like, oh man, I want to fight you. Loxus is staring him down so intently. And then And then we see Natsu, and he says, I'm all fired up. And then we get the final, last page and a half of this chapter. Festival. The guy who was talking to Cardi says, the Great Demon Gathering, also known by another name. And he says, Dragon King Festival? Holy shit. I was speechless when I saw it. I was like, oh man. Really? So, now we know. Oh my god. And he goes on to continue saying that people and dragons, along with demons, can never exist alongside with each other. Has that endless curse fallen into the abyss? A banquet, and it says, a banquet of dragons, people, and demons. And he's looking at a mural, basically, and it's a dragon coming down doing fire on this wizard who's repelling the fire. And it says, to be continued in chapter 293, the Paraphrum Owl something. I think that is referring to Blue Pegasus. So we're going to get Blue Pegasus next week. And that's how the chapter ends. Thoughts? I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Thoughts on this? I'm stoked. Okay, right now, I'm going really stoked right now. Because that last page, the dragon thing. I don't think a lot of people, I think people saw this coming, but I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. I obviously thought it might be the case that this festival, this eclipse plan was going to entail something along the lines with the dragons, but I didn't know it was going to be like, oh, it's known as a dragon festival. I'm like, holy shit. If they pull this off and the dragons appear, I'm going apeshit. I'm going apeshit. Especially if we get Igneel. Oh my god. If the other dragons show up again, Igneel, Grenadine, Gajiel's dragon, but I can't say his name correctly, they show up. And I was, this is going to be interesting. Hero is going the right path with this. Hopefully we get some good shit with these fights. If it's Gajiel and Natsu, I assure you, it's going to be crazy. But unfortunately, next week, we're not going to see that fight. We're going to see Blue Pegasus. Which it seems to me like they're going in order. Which I found very interesting. So you got the first fight, which is Blue Pegasus versus Quattro Puppy. Mermaid Heel against Lamia's Scale. And then Sabretooth and Fairy Tail. Like the main event. Let's get ready to rumble. Like the main event of wrestling. Tag team match. Man, long video, 18 minutes, but this chapter was very good. Very good. The ending really got me. Got me stoked. So 4 out of 5. It's getting me stoked for this dragon thing. Everyone wants to see those dragons. Everyone. And if it's Igneel and Grenadine and Medicala, I can't even say his name, Gajiel's dragon, forget about it. Especially if somebody makes an appearance that we didn't expect. Someone's mother? I would be stoked if that happened. We'll see though. Good expectations. I'm got some good expectations for Fairy Tail. As far as it ending, I don't think anytime soon. Not anytime soon. I'm going to say something silly, but I think next year it might be close to ending Fairy Tail. But I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys for today. This is Bonkai922. Rate, comment, subscribe. What did you guys think about this Fairy Tail chapter? Comments below. Dragons! Come on!